Sometime this week, you'll walk into a store for 5 things and walk out with 11 and feel fine about every one of them. This video is about the quiet little machine that makes that happen. 2 inches of paper. It's been reading you since before you could read it back. The price tag. Start with the receipt. A surprising share of the item prices on it will end in a 9. That's not tradition. Depending on the store and the study, 40 to 95% of item prices end in 9, when chance would give you about 1 in 10. And here's the twist this video hangs on. Those 9 ending prices aren't even reliably the cheap ones. There's a 98 million price study coming in a minute. Short version, the 9 doesn't reliably mark a bargain, it marks the feeling of 1. Because a price tag isn't just information, a fact about the product. It's also an instruction about how to feel. And the people who write those instructions aren't only pricing the product. There's a 2-word phrase for the other thing they're measuring. I'll tell you before we're done, and once you've heard it, no tag ever reads the same. One warning first, knowing the trick does not switch it off. It works at modern platform scale, measured across 21 million people at once. So this isn't a video about the suckers out there. Grab your last receipt. It's about us. 5 pricing moves are almost certainly on that receipt right now. One at a time, we're going to ring them up, because a trick you can name at the shelf is already losing its grip. Move 1, the vanishing penny. $9.99 is 1 cent less than $10. Your calculator knows that. The interesting question is why the rest of you doesn't. The mechanism is almost embarrassing. You read numbers left to right, and your sense of how big locks in at the first digit. 2 consumer researchers showed exactly where the seam is. Drop a price from $3 to $2.99, and in their experiments it read as meaningfully smaller. Drop $3.60 to $3.59. Almost nothing, same penny. The magic only fires when the left digit falls. That's the left digit trick. But the 9 has a second job, and field experiments caught it working. Researchers sent out a women's clothing catalog with the same dress at $34. 39 and $44. 39 outsold 34 by about a third. 44 against 34. No difference at all. Here the 9 wasn't shrinking a digit, it was acting like a sale sign. The costume of marked down beat an actual $5 lower price. Maybe you're thinking, catalog shoppers decades ago, I'd catch it. In 2019, economists working with a rideshare company checked, at your scale, 600 million sessions, then an experiment across 21 million passengers. Demand didn't slide smoothly as prices rose, it dropped a step every time a fare crossed a round dollar. Cutting fares by a few cents, $14 to $13.99, made the company more money. Roughly 160 million a year by the author's math, if the effect holds. Now the twist I promised. A research team went through 98 million shelf prices from one large American grocery chain. The 9 ending prices weren't lower than the rest. They ran higher on average by as much as 18%. Why do we still trust them? Because on genuine sale items, 9 ending prices really are lower. The ending earned its reputation honestly, and regular 9 ending prices kept it while they drifted higher. Move 1, rung up. Whether it shrinks the left digit or dresses up as a discount, the 9 doesn't say cheap. It says feel cheap, and the feeling files before the math gets a vote. Move 2, the number that exists to die. You've seen it 1,000 times. Was $1.99, now $99. The uncomfortable question, what was the was? Did anyone ever actually pay it? Your brain grabs the first number in sight and adjusts from there, and it under-adjusts. Psychologists showed how deep this runs with a rigged wheel of fortune. Spin it in front of people, land it on 10 or 65, then ask something unrelated. What percentage of African countries are in the United Nations? The median guess after seeing a 10, 25%. After a 65, 45. A random game wheel number dragged the middle answer 20 points. A was price is that wheel, printed in red. It doesn't have to convince you. It just has to be seen first, so the real price walks in behind it looking reasonable.
Look how much I'm saving.
Generous even. And the fake number is load-bearing. In 2012, a major American department store stopped the games. New CEO, no more coupons, no more inflated was prices, just honest, lower, everyday numbers. Many core customers rejected it. Sales collapsed by roughly a quarter in 1 year, over $4 billion. Within 17 months, the CEO was out, and the fake prices were back. His own post-mortem, coupons were a drug. The rollout had other problems, sure, but the reading his own team reached for is unsettling enough. For many shoppers, a low price with no was beside it didn't feel like a deal. They missed the ritual, the visible drop between two numbers. Move 2, rung up. You never see a price alone. You see it standing next to a number that was hired to make it look small. Move 3, the option that exists to lose. Look at any 3-tier lineup: small, medium, large, basic, plus, premium. Sometimes an option few people ever choose is still doing quiet work, making another option look like a steal. Researchers first mapped this in 1982. Give people 2 options, a cheaper beer and a pricier, better rated one, and choices split. Now add a third that's clearly worse than one of them, pricier than the premium, no better. Almost nobody picks it. But its presence pushes more people toward the option that beats it. The original 2 never changed. Adding a loser changed which winner people chose. Once you know the shape, you'll spot candidates everywhere. The medium popcorn priced 50 cents under the large, whose apparent job is to make the large feel like pure upgrade. I'm not saying every menu is rigged. I'm saying the pattern has a name, and pricing teams know how powerful that shape can be. Honest fine print, because this channel doesn't oversell. In the lab, the decoy works best when you're genuinely torn. Both features matter to you, and the loser's flaws are easy to see. And researchers still argue about its strength in messy, real stores. But a pricing team doesn't need it to work on everyone. It just has to nudge the margin, and a third option costs nothing to print. Move 3, rung up. When a lineup contains an option almost no one would choose, ask what it's doing there. It may be an accident. It doesn't need to be one to steer you. Move 4, the one I find genuinely unsettling. The tag doesn't just change what you think about a product before you buy. It can reach into what you experience after. In 2008, researchers at Caltech and Stanford put 20 volunteers in a brain scanner and served them 5 Cabernets, identified only by price. Except there weren't 5 wines, there were 3. 2 appeared twice. The same wine showed up as the $10 bottle and later as the $90 bottle. The tasters rated the $90 pour as more enjoyable than the identical $10 pour. And the scanner moved the same way. A region behind the forehead that tracks how pleasant an experience feels grew more active when the tag said 90. Small study, 20 people, no sommeliers, but the direction is the point. The expectation appears to have reached into the tasting itself. And one twist more, when the same volunteers later tasted with no prices shown, the cheapest wine ranked first. Move 4, rung up. Expensive doesn't just cost more. In the moment it can feel like more, even from the same bottle.
Tastes expensive.
Sometimes the paying is the product. The last move is different. Moves 1 through 4 live on the tag. Move 5 lives in the moment the money leaves. Because paying, it turns out, hurts. Researchers literally call it the pain of paying, and a lot of modern checkout design functions like an anesthetic. Watch the anesthesia work. Researchers at MIT auctioned real tickets to a sold-out Celtics game to a room of business school students. Sealed bids, highest offer wins. Half were told, if you win, you pay cash. The other half, you pay by card. Same tickets, same room. The card bidders offered up to twice as much, and it didn't look like a cash-in-the-wallet problem. The card just hurt less. It goes smaller than the card. At one restaurant, researchers randomized the lunch menus. Some prices carried dollar signs, some were bare numbers, just 14. Parties ordering from the bare number menus spent about 8% more. One restaurant lunch study, but count how many upscale menus you've seen with no dollar signs anywhere. And when a seller can't numb the pain, they can hide the needle. In 2015, a major ticket resale site ran the test on millions of users. Half saw the full price up front. Half saw a lower, cleaner price, fees appearing only at checkout, after you'd already fallen for the seats. The hidden fee group bought more tickets, better tickets, and spent about 21% more. In that experiment, hiding the fees won on revenue. Exactly the kind of result behind the later regulatory fight over upfront, all-in pricing. Tap to pay. 1 click, card on file, pay in 4. None of it is a conspiracy, it's genuine convenience. But notice whose problem it solves. The pain of paying is information. Your budget speaking at the only moment it can still change the outcome. Mute it, and the only voice left at the register is theirs. And those are the 5, a penny that deletes a whole digit, a fake number hired to make the real one look small, an option built to lose, a tag that reaches into the taste itself, and a checkout tuned so the leaving of the money never quite registers. Let me step off the record for a second. At the top, I told you the professionals aren't only pricing the product, and that there's a 2-word phrase for the other thing they're measuring. Here it is: willingness to pay. Yours. The tag was never just a fact about the bottle, the dress, the ride. It's also an estimate of you, of what the feeling part of you will sign off on before the math part wakes up. Every move on that receipt can nudge the estimate upward. Okay, back on the record, so here's how you take the receipt back. 5 moves, 5 counters. First, kill the 9. Read every price rounded up. $9.99 is 10. $39 is 40. You're reinstalling the digit the tag deleted. Second, interrogate the was. A discount is not a price. Ask what you'd pay without the red ink and check the tiny per unit price on the shelf tag. The one number nobody dressed up. Third, in any 3-option lineup, find the option almost no one would choose, delete it, and choose between the 2 that remain. Fourth, for anything you'll taste or feel, let it audition without its tag. Sip first, decide first. If it only wins with the price showing, the price was doing the work. And fifth, the strongest one, let paying hurt again, a little. Say the total out loud before you tap. Leave the big cart overnight and see if you still want it at breakfast. And never judge a price until the fees are on the screen. The sticker was only ever the opening offer. And if the register math never quite matches the plan in your head, that's not carelessness. These moves are tuned for a person deciding in half a second, which is all of us. You were paying attention to your life. They were paying attention to your half seconds. Now you get to notice back. Because the one thing a price tag can't survive is a reader who knows what it's for. It's never just a statement about the thing, it's a question about you. And starting tonight, you get to answer it on purpose. One honest question to carry out of here: what's the last thing you bought where the deal was the part you actually enjoyed? Find that, and you found the tag that reads you best. If the next shelf tag you see looks a little different now, subscribe. It genuinely helps. Next time, we leave the store and meet someone who doesn't need a price tag at all. The con artist: how a total stranger builds enough trust in minutes to walk away with everything. The unsettling part? The tools are the same ones your closest friends use. See you there.